Rastafari blessings, everybody. This is the Global Consciousness Show with Sperqo, the mysterious study. And today we are on the reasoning segment. And I want us to talk about 4 different things today. So if you have the time, stay tuned with me and let's go through these 4 things. So we have reggae, Rasta, dreadlock, marijuana, or cannabis. These 4 things. They are 4 different things. But in Ghana, when you belong to one, or when you are engaged in one, it is expected that you have the other 3 added. If you say you are Rasta, you are expected to be smoking. You are expected to have locks. You are expected to listen to reggae music. When you say you love reggae music, people think you smoke. People start tagging you, stereotyping you that, oh, this guy smokes weed because you say you love reggae music. So yeah, let's educate the people. But first things first, we have some elders in the game who still championing the fact that if you don't have dreadlocks, you are not a Rasta. And I still look at those people and I say, what is wrong with them? See, it is concept. It is ideas around this world. And according to the Rastafari, concept, you don't need to have locks to be a Rasta. Because when we are talking about Rastafari, there is a significant role played by Haile Selassie. But Haile Selassie doesn't have dreadlocks. But most Rastas up to today, I don't want to use the word worship, but they still use his teachings as Rastas. So why go the length to tell the next man that if you don't have dreadlocks, you are not a Rasta man? Why would you tell the young guys coming up that Rastaman doesn't have anything to do with the barber shop, that if you are Rastaman, you don't have to visit the barber shop? Why? Rastafari is concepts. Rastafari has different mansions. We have the Nyabingi, the Bobo Shantis, the Congo Dread, the Nati Dread, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Ras, amongst other things. We have all these mansions, and all these mansions operate differently. But at the end of the day, they all belong to the Rastafari community. And somebody that belongs to the 12 tribes is expected to do whatever they want to do, but they still belong to Rasta community. Because the word says in my father's house there are so many mansions. And so in Rastafari we have so many mansions. So why are the elders telling the youth that if you don't have dreadlock, you are not a Rasta? You don't have to dread to be Rasta. This is not a dreadlocks thing, divine conception of the art. Rastafari blessings. So, yo man, don't let nobody tell you that if you don't have locks on your head, you are not a Rasta. Now let me go to smoking. Most people will push you if you are not that strong in this country. If you say you are Rasta man, society will push you into trying to smoke weed. And which kind of Rasta is this one that doesn't smoke weed? Oh, media, I've never seen this kind of a Rasta before. I've never seen a Rasta man that doesn't smoke weed. Hey, this man. Don't let them push you into smoking weed. As a Rasta man. You don't have to smoke weed to be Rasta. You just have to be pure in heart. Because Rasta means righteous African standing tall alone. Are you righteous enough to stand for your rights alone? That is what makes you a Rasta. All right. So we are done with Rasta. Now we are going to dreadlocks. Most people don't know what is called dreadlocks. When we say dreadlocks, the word dread means to be fearful. So when you are wearing dreadlocks, you have to look fearful. If you don't look fearful, you are not wearing dreadlocks. You are wearing fashion locks. You see, ladies will go and use mesh and plait something on their head and they call it Rasta. This is a Rasta twist. This is, yeah, they can call it Rasta. It is not dreadlock. It is not even lock. People go and have natural locks and they call it dreadlocks. And I tell them it's not dreadlocks. If it doesn't make you look fearful, it is not dread. It is not dreadlock. It is fashion lock. You understand that? There's nothing wrong with having a fashion lock, yeah. But when we say dreadlock, it came from somewhere. When our people had to look fearful, to even scare the dreadless lion in the jungle. And those were the first soldiers. And that is why every dreadlock man that understands the dreadlocks they are wearing want to wear the camouflage because they say they were the first soldiers in the history of human. The dreadlock was the first uniform for soldiers. You understand me? And you see how soldiers that are dressed to go for war, you see how dreadful they look. You see how armed they look. Yeah, man. So if you are wearing locks and you are not looking dreadful, you are not looking fearful, it's not a dreadlock. Let's put that to aside. Reggae music. Reggae music is a sacred music for sacred people. You understand? So anybody loves reggae music. You don't have to be a Rasta to love reggae music. Even Rasta people, when they go to their meetings, they don't play reggae music. Oh. That is what people don't understand. I've been telling the Christians that we have a Christian music and we have a gospel music. The same way when you go to Rastafari. We have the Rastafari music, the music people play to praise the Most High in their worship places. It's different from the reggae music you have been hearing on air. You cannot be playing reggae music in the Rastafari gatherings where sacred service is going on. So reggae music is not for Rasta. You have to understand this. If you have ever visited a Rastafari gathering when they have to actually go do their sacred services, they don't play reggae music. They have their own musics. They play. Especially the Nyabingi people. They are very spiritual. So reggae music is not for Rasta. It's for conscious people. It's for sacred people. You understand that? Now fast forward, I don't want to waste much time. Now when we talk about marijuana, marijuana is a herb. That is for upliftment. That is, it's a spiritual herb. Yeah? That sends you to a certain height. That sends you to a certain spirituality, certain spiritual height, certain consciousness. So the cannabis or marijuana herb, takes you high to a certain dimension, a certain consciousness. So not everybody is expected to smoke marijuana or to take marijuana. So when you are already on a certain height, when you are already on a certain consciousness, you don't need to take marijuana. Marijuana is actually for people who are not yet there, who don't really reach that consciousness. They take it to get to a certain consciousness, to see things in a different way, understand things differently. But when you are already on that level and you say you want to still take marijuana, you will go mad. That's why the people say, oh, it's a calling. Marijuana is a calling. I don't want to say things some ways, but people that are, naturally intelligent and smart, when they take marijuana, they get mad. But people who are dull, people who are not that smart, people who are not on that level, they can take marijuana for 70 years and they are still okay. They are going up and down. You don't see. But people who are very smart, very active, click, if they take marijuana, they will run mad right now. Because you are already on this level of consciousness. When you add the marijuana to it, it sends you to like, you are out of the world. But when you are already dull guy, very dull, my God of mercy, that is not to mock anybody's, because we are all, built differently. So you only take more of what you don't have. A lot of people, when your mind is somehow, you take it but it is not good for everybody. If you know yourself and you know your level, you don't have to take it again. Else, you will go mad. That is also about marijuana. You see me? So this education has to be made for people to stop all this stereotyping and criticisms and all of that. Being a Rasta is just a cool thing, because you have to be humble to be Rasta. Yeah? You have to be righteous to be Rasta. As I said earlier, righteous African standing tall alone. Are you righteous enough? Are you standing tall for your rights, for the rights of people around you? That is Rasta. Don't let them fool you or even try to school you. And at the end of the day, I tell you, it is all concepts. Digest it in your mind before you accept. Is in blessings.